Welcome back to Finn vs. History. As ever, I'm with Horatio Gould.
This is no laughing matter.
This is a legitimate historical podcast. We are, I'm delighted to say, returning to the Troubles, the Tapas restaurant.
The skew whiff, as we call it.
The Troubles. Lots of little picky bits.
Yes.
We started this series. Bombs. It is small plates.
Yeah.
We started this series a year ago, I believe, and we only got 3 years in.
Yeah.
We're now heading towards the hunger strikes, which we'll deal with next episode, but there's lots to enjoy before then.
Yeah, bundle of laughs.
It is a bundle of laughs, famously. Yeah. And it's obviously a completely settled issue that no one's bothered by anymore.
Yeah. And
just because we got away with it last time doesn't mean we shouldn't try again.
Yes, of course.
I've got active dates in the diary in Northern Ireland, and I'm thinking, fuck it. Let's roll the dice.
You know, I'm a father of two. Maybe I want to be blown up.
Maybe. Let's see. So now, last episode, what small plates did we enjoy last episode? Bloody Sunday.
Yeah.
Bloody Friday.
Yeah.
Most days.
Bloody every day. For about 5 years.
Should we do maybe a quick recap for any listeners that haven't heard? Go back to.
I don't know if the historical context is important for this though.
No, I think famously two British men just having a crack at it.
I actually think you just take it as it is. I don't think looking back in the past gives you any new perspective.
No, basically,
I think it muddies the water. I think
it does. Well, it is. It doesn't actually make anything clearer.
I think you should just treat both sides as doing it completely with no context or reason, just doing it on a whim.
What are you on about? That's my take. What are you on about? Northern Ireland, the north of the island of Ireland, has several, at this point, political and paramilitary groups that differing between Catholic and Protestant.
It's like the kind of golden age of the boy band, where it felt like there was a million different boy bands in sync. You know, had Louis Walsh getting fucking, was it Westlife, Boyzone? You know, it feels like there's so many of these different competing boy bands trying to make it big.
Yes.
And they're all swirling around Northern Ireland.
They all have acronyms that sound like shopping channels. UVF, PIRA.
They're all sitting on stools, turning around seductively.
Wet hair. in terms of the small plates we enjoyed last year on the tapas. It's very, I mean, saying tapas, reading a tapas menu out in Northern Irish is one of the most fun. Potatoes bravas. I'd like some. Hey, excuse me. It is when you're in a restaurant and you'd like service, bringing out the Northern Irish accent. Everyone puts their glass down.
Yeah, because who won the Traitors this year?
It was Rachel.
Yeah. She kind of won with the Northern Irish accent. That sort of. It completely fucked everyone over, basically. Have you seen wanted to cross her?
Yeah. Have you seen?
I don't think that's funny.
Have you seen the whole thing about how every person that gets voted out first is black or non-white?
Yeah, it's like a horror film. The first one to go is black.
But it's just it's very funny that every series there's been like there's something I don't trust, and like they haven't got anything to go on.
Nothing to go on.
Yeah,
black guy.
I'm getting a feeling from you. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And I wish they'd, because in the first series, the first person who left, I remember this vividly. I thought this show is fucking brilliant because the first person they kicked out, they're like, "Yeah, you didn't cheers when we all cheers," and she was like, "Well, I've only got one hand," and I was doing something else with my other hand. They're like, "No,
it's weird.
No, I don't trust you."
Well, maybe we should make it racially ambiguous for the first couple of rounds of traits,
or everyone has to do a different accent to the one they have.
Yes. So okay. I think that would get past the sort of
hello, dear. I have always been a traitor. Transgender. I'd love to see him on the Traitors. Especially if the only question he was asking.
Yeah, you are gay.
Why are you gay? I would like to start tonight. Why are you gay? Why are you gay?
You're a transgender.
Are you transgender?
The country of Northern Ireland is transgender.
It is transgender country. Yeah. Pray for genuinely transgender people within Northern Ireland, because how many fucking things they got to identify as? My word.
Men, women, Northern Ireland, Britain Island.
Everyone pick a team.
Yeah.
In our last episode, we dealt with the year 1972, which was pretty bleak.
Yeah.
It was the bloodiest year of the Troubles.
Yeah.
That included the Bloody Sunday, the big boo-boo, and
the whoopsie.
The big whoopsie. I know that we're fairly impartial as a podcast, but I put my hands up and I'd say that the British there was a bit of a whoopsie.
It was a banana peel.
We slept in a banana peel. After Bloody Sunday, they suspend Stormont, which is the Northern Irish Parliament.
Yes.
And
Stormont's where all the DUP lesbians are, right?
yes,
It feels like, for some reason, I hear Stormont, it feels like
Arlene Foster.
Feels like a lesbian barricade.
Why have you got Penny Morden up, Charlie? Are you trying to make me bust?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's
Her,
got, yeah.
her carrying the sword.
Yeah.
Stand up and fight.
You'd like to sit on that sword, wouldn't you?
Penny. I'll
Penny.
take that sword.
Yeah.
What is it?
Do you remember when she did her stand up and fight speech? Did you see that?
What was that?
Have you seen that? It's the shittest speech. Can we watch a bit of it?
Yeah, of course. The thing is, with all these absolute smoke shows,
Yeah.
you know, their speeches are never as.
Forget what they're saying.
It's like this Trust Cheese speech, you know.
Yeah.
It's like when Page 3 girls had the little bubble saying, "I think our boys should," you know. It's not for them to say.
You don't
really.
want to hear.
Yeah, that's not why I'm. That's not why I'm.
Middle East.
Pinder, I'm not coming to you for how we're going to solve the Gaza crisis. All right,
Liz Truss, I'm not going to you to be the. Oh no, you are.
Liz Truss, I'm not coming to you to set the mortgage market. All right, that's not what you're strong at. What you're strong at is getting your gazungas out on Page 3. What's Morden saying then? Come on, Charlie.
And fight, because when you stand up and fight, the person beside you stands up and fights.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah,
our
it's not.
party
No, listen,
it's like hearing
stands up
David
and
Beckham
fights,
speak.
It is,
the
yeah.
It gets worse.
nation stands up
Stop
and
saying.
fights.
Stop saying. Stand
And
up.
when our nation stands up and fights,
Absolute.
other
I mean, 10 out of 10,
Yeah.
though. Every other aspect of her. What a woman. So, Stormont is where Arlene Foster...
It's a sort.
yeah.
For me, I just for some reason the word Stormont, Arlene Foster, DUP in my head, it feels like a last defense for lesbians. It's like a barricade. They've you know what I mean?
Lesbian Rorke's Drift is
you know-
Stormont, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
Get
feels-
back! Yeah.
If shit is the fan, the lesbians will retreat to Stormont.
Well, that's the motherland, isn't it, for lesbians? I feel is Stormont. Yeah, look at her. Christ. Now, I think she's famously very anti-gay.
Yes.
But she's also probably the most lesbian-looking woman there's ever been.
She's not gay, but just for some reason, it just feels right.
Why are you gay? That's what
Yeah.
she'd say. The last redoubt of lesbianism is Stormont. But the Brits at this point, they take over. Stormont they impose direct rule. The British troop deployment rises by about 21,000 personnel by the late 1972. 72 is a bit of a bad year.
Yeah.
It's a bad year on all sides. The IRA announced
So is this Heath?
This would be Heath.
Yeah.
And Heath, of course, is, he's getting around the table.
Yeah.
Come on, everyone.
Yeah.
Let's all get around the table. Let's shake hands. Let's
Roll up your sleeves.
Roll up your sleeves. Let's thrash
Thrash
out
it
a
out.
deal. He's always talking
Yeah.
to the IRA. In early July, a provisional IRA delegation.
He's putting a Google Meet in the calendar and
Yeah.
just having a pointless Zoom. That's what he loves. That.
Well, he takes value in having a full schedule of meetings,
Yes.
much as Channel 4 commissioners
Yes,
do.
it feels like a TV commissioner. It's just
Basically, the last
45 minutes. And you're like, did anything get achieved?
Well, the last 20 years have been Channel 4's troubles. In that nothing has happened.
Yeah, but a lot of meetings.
Yeah, and a lot's been lost.
A lot's been lost. A lot of death.
So after this, what happens is something called Operation Motorman.
Sounds fun.
Which it's not Operation Motorboat, Charlie. No, we're going to go in there. I mean, motorboating Arlene Foster would,
Would what?
I don't know. It'd
be nice.
Came into my head. Would it be nice? I think it would.
She's got a nice shelf of tit.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind sleeping on the top of her bosom.
She doesn't strike me as a shoulder to cry on. She's not soft.
No.
She's hard. She's as hard as a woman can get. Granite. You could build houses out of Arlene Foster. So Motorman is where the British Army it's similar to when Reagan clamps down on the war on drugs.
Right.
It's heavy-handed, you might say.
Yep.
Or it's not as exactly what's needed.
Yep.
At all times, we will be giving both perspectives.
Sides. It's a complicated live issue.
What's the truth?
Yep.
Who knows? Did any of this happen?
Probably not.
Probably not. In many ways, it's easier to just say nothing happened.
It happened too long ago to know if any of this happened.
Nah.
It's like talking about ancient Persia.
Exactly. It's the same. This episode of Fin vs. History is brought to you by Surfshark.
Woo!
Guys, look, you've heard it from us before.
Yeah.
No homo.
No homo.
I love Surfshark.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I
He
love
said
him.
it. He said
I've
no
said it.
homo. No homo. I'm gay.
No homo. I want to go down on Surfshark. Who is Mr. Surfshark?
I don't know. I'd like to meet him.
I'd love to shake his hand.
I'd love to see his tight little trousers around his thighs. No
If
homo.
only I could see it, but he's too well protected.
Why?
He's got a padlock over his arse
How come?
because he's Mr. Surfshark.
And what does that mean?
He doesn't let anyone within an inch of his trousers.
He's got a chastity belt.
if you like.
So this is an internet chastity belt.
Because public Wi-Fi is dangerous. They're like the public toilets of the digital world.
Ooh.
Go in there, you think you know what you're going in for. You don't know what you're leaving with.
Yeah.
I went in for a piss.
Hepatitis.
I've got AIDS.
That's a bad deal.
That's a bad deal. The exchange rate is bad. I went in for a PP and I came out with full-blown AIDS. And that's because I went to a public toilet in Shepherd's Bush.
Yeah.
And they said it's a bar now. Well, you've not cleaned it up properly.
Did you go into the AIDS toilet?
Well, that's my... Yes.
Yeah, that's maybe on
To
you.
be fair, it said men, women, disabled and AIDS. And I misread that and I went into the AIDS one. And
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
It could happen to the best of us, but more often happens to the
But if
worst.
Surfshark had been running those public toilets, that one would have been locked.
Yes.
Because Surfshark, once your device connects to the internet, all the information is encrypted.
Basically, you need to be a medieval king with his daughter about your internet, right?
Yes.
Chastity belt.
Yeah.
Don't go out after fucking 7 p.m.
I want 7 men queuing, auditioning to have sex with her.
I want you to have a real tough time at taking a shit because you've got a steel pants welded to your bottom half.
And that is Surfshark. There is a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee if you use the code FVH. Sing it with me.
Foxtrot Vagina Hotel.
We run the
'Cause it's the
Foxtrot Vagina
Foxtrot
Hotel and you get
Vagina
4
Hotel.
extra months of Surfshark. Don't let these online threats catch you off guard. So Operation Motorman is the largest British military operation since the 1956 Suez Crisis. It's the largest conducted in Ireland since the War of Independence. 22,000 British soldiers are involved. But heavy equipment, tanks. And the objective is to dismantle the no-go areas that since the 1969 riots, this is all the civil rights, all that.
What, like East London?
Like nowadays, East London, yeah. Like Brick Lane, Sadikistan.
Whole of Birmingham.
The whole of Birmingham is a no-go area. You go in there, you're immediately converted to Islam.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to, these days.
Yeah.
It's similar, I guess it's Ulez,
Yeah.
in a way.
Yes. We bring up Ulos every single episode.
It's the live issue of our time.
But it's not ultra low emission zones, are they? Because there's quite a lot of emissions.
It's UHEZ.
Yeah. It's like ultra
Belfast
high.
in the 70s, ultra high emission zones.
So it's not environmentally friendly, I think.
No,
Gasoline
no,
bombs and
again, no.
Molotov cocktails and stuff.
No.
No.
Greta's not enjoying the troubles. So they're trying to break up these barricades, in Derry and in Belfast. And the operation begins at 4 a.m.
Derry.
Sorry?
Hello, Derry.
I think it's a play on Hello There.
Right. Yeah. Charlie's puns are, they're... I like the confidence he's showing.
They track. It's just more. Sometimes it's more. What do you want us to do with that?
Yeah.
Not much. Just acknowledge me.
Just acknowledge me.
Just
You
know-
are
just
acknowledged.
know
Hello,
Charlie.
Derry.
I exist.
Put it in a sentence.
Hello, Derry.
I guess that is the sentence, isn't it? That is the
Fair
sentence.
enough. Sorry.
British forces use bulldozers and Centurion AVREs. Can we see what that looks
Let's have a
like?
look.
Is that just Arlene Foster strapped to a pickup truck to smash through barricades before
There you go.
infantry advanced in armoured vehicles? And the IRA don't attempt... Oh, look at that.
Bloody hell.
Big old tank, that.
That's Arlene in her 20s.
Yeah, that's Arlene going for a drive. Arlene going for a stroll. She had a bigger nose in her youth. During the operation in Derry,
Yeah.
British soldiers shoot 4 people and they kill a 15-year-old civilian and a 19-year-old PIRA member.
What were
Now,
they wearing?
What were they wearing? It's a very valid question. What were they saying?
Mini skirts.
PIRA is the provisional IRA.
Right.
But the operation, from the British perspective, succeeds. The provisionals lost their sanctuaries, but they don't smash the provisionals.
They don't smash the gangs.
Don't smash the gangs. And so, Operation Motorman means the IRA have to transition again back to male. Sorry, I should have said that they're
shapeshifters.
They're all in wigs and miniskirts at this point. No, they have to transition towards a sort of guerrilla warfare, the Taliban in Afghanistan, and so they reorganize into cells of 3 to 5 members.
Taliban,
This is the Taliban. Yeah. It's Osama bin Laden and the Book Taliban. No, the Book Taliban was William Wallace. Wasn't it? It's the Taliban. Suddenly, it becomes much more underground.
Yeah.
we get to the Long War in England,
Right.
which is to exhaust British political commitment through sustained operations.
To make something so boring that we give them Ireland back.
Basically,
Yeah.
just it's
Make the news so boring.
It's just constantly poking us like that.
Yeah.
So the reason we're going through the 70s is because we need to build up the context for how the hunger strikes play out on the British side. We'll be joined by our correspondent Vittorio to talk about the hunger strikes because I mean,
Northern Ireland, one of the easier places in the world to be on hunger strike.
well, yeah, famously there was a massive hunger strike in the 19th century. From our perspective.
More saying, I think British cuisine in general.
Oh, I see.
It's
Right.
easier to be on
No,
hunger
I cannot empathise with anyone who goes on hunger strike. I just think it's the stupidest thing you could do. I don't believe in anything. I wouldn't even.
There's nothing.
Wouldn't even not eat in order to get a better meal. I'd eat the meal, then say I'd like a better meal after having eaten the bad meal.
But what's that? Is that going on hunger strike?
No, because I couldn't do it.
This hunger strike, can I have more food? Hunger strike.
Yeah.
I don't know if that really works.
I will not eat. Well, actually, no, I will. And I'd also like some more food. I couldn't do it.
Well, you do like a mukbang would be sort of.
Yeah, I do a
A protest mukbang?
yeah. I will not stop eating until my rights are recognised.
Please,
what I
someone
do.
make him stop. He's going to die.
He's going to die. Yeah, that's it. I do the opposite. I do an opposite of a fast. It's why I could never be Muslim.
Yeah.
I
You
couldn't do a
were
fast.
close. You nearly converted.
Nearly. Yeah.
You were right on the.
I was right. I was ready. When
and then you
yeah.
heard about the rules of Ramadan.
Yeah.
Tough.
Ramadan's tough.
Especially if you live in the Arctic Circle. Because, Ramadan's a constantly moving thing. So
is
it's
it?
like every week, every time it changes and it moves down the year. So,
right.
So over your lifetime, you'll have Ramadan at every point in the year.
Oh.
So people who, Muslims, the rare, small Muslim population in the Arctic Circle.
Must be tiny, Charlie. Just see how many Muslims are on the Arctic
But
Circle.
remember, there's like 3 months a year where it's day forever. You know this?
Yeah, so they must die.
Yeah, they
Right.
do. So it's tough. They all
Well,
become
fair
they all
fucks.
become Bobby Sands up in there.
There can't be many Muslims living
No,
in...
I think if you live that high up, you set it on Mecca. You're like
Right,
You
Mecca
do
time.
whatever Mecca time.
There's a little mosque on the tundra, which is about 100 people in Canada
Yeah,
and about 1,000 in Tromsø in Norway.
yeah. So Ramadan then can be pretty bleak.
Yeah. I don't think Islam works in the snow.
No, I don't think they'd really thought about that.
It's a desert. Greenland. There's one known Muslim living in Greenland. What's his name? Shout him out. Shout him out. The Greenland Muslim. Do you reckon?
It sounds like a Jason Statham film or something.
The
It was
Greenland
like,
Muslim. Do you
One man.
reckon there are people in Greenland being like, bloody hell, Greenlandanistan nowadays, these days, can't do anything.
Oh, Greenland's gone down the drain.
His name is Wassam Azakir.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the pod, Wassam Azakir.
Pour one out for Wassam.
He lives in Nook.
He runs a restaurant in Nook.
He fasts for 21 hours during the Arctic summer.
Fuck me.
Fuck me. So hang on, he has 3 hours where he just mukbangs and then he goes back on fast. Fair fucks.
Fucking hell. Shout out Wassam.
And
Add him to the pantheon of the greats.
everyone else in Greenland's like, bloody hell, these days. Can't say anything these days. Sharia law in Greenland.
Fucking
is it?
Wassam will find.
Fucking
Well, there
Wassam will
are
find-
12 people, so it's
That's true.
It's 10% of the country.
Fucking, he's got his Sharia restaurant there, and I can't fucking drive anywhere because of the ULEZ that Wassam's put in. Wassamistan.
Nukistan.
Yeah.
Go on. Can we find a picture of him? Let's see what he looks like.
I think that might be him.
Is that him? He looks like you, Charlie.
Oh no, that he's telling us. No, there's no pictures of Wassam.
But anyway, if you're listening, Wassam,
That's his what? Mosque, maybe?
That's a shed.
does Wassam have a mosque?
If they're turning our sheds into mosques, then
Come on.
come on.
Make Greenland great again. Come on.
Sadiq, can we have any space?
Yeah, it's a long history of Greenland. You can't have it just be completely overruled by
No.
foreign cultures like this.
Anyway,
But if you're listening, shout out.
shout out Wassam. Keep going.
doing it.
21 hours of fasting. Christ. So in December 1973, we get to the Sunningdale Agreement, which is Heath's first major attempt to build a political settlement.
Do you want to place this?
Let's place 1973.
1973.
1973. That is, it's after eugenics has been disavowed.
So would you say that's 1945?
Yep. That's the
Nuremberg?
tragedy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, a tragedy for eugenics.
Yeah.
Nuremberg. and it is before social Darwinism starts to come back in Big Brother.
Okay.
Which you'd say scratches a similar itch.
When the kind of sun is saying when people are talking about putting sterilising things to people's water supply to stop council house people having 6 and 7 kids.
Yes.
Interesting.
Which is kind of, I think it's the Big Brother starts that sense. So Big Brother is mainly where Nikki and Big Brother, it's mainly where Kinga bottle up a fanny.
Yeah. So however sticking the bottle up a fanny, did that bring social Darwinism back into the...
Certainly in my head it did.
So something's got to stop.
These people have got to stop breeding.
I mean, she's breeding with a bottle.
I suppose so. But yeah, I'd say social Darwinism. The snobbish noises that certainly my parents make when Big Brother was on, it scratched a similar part of the brain as I imagine the eugenicists.
The phrenology part of the brain.
Yeah. In that they're like, God, this is absolute tribe. These people shouldn't be on screen. They shouldn't be rewarded.
Yeah. Jay Goody,
Jay Goody. Yeah. Rest in power.
Rest in power, Jay Goody. Okay, yeah.
So this is kind of in the middle of this.
Yeah.
So Sunningdale, it's Heath. It's trying to get a Northern Ireland Assembly together.
Is any social Darwinism happening around this? Because I know that a lot of social Darwinism is happening in the past in Ireland. They got big heads.
Yes.
Therefore, we should take all their food.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They went on hunger strike for 5 years in the 1840s.
Yeah, you've made your point.
I've made my point.
But was any of that being talked about now? Is this kind of in the low point of social Darwinism? So I guess it's not a live
I think
issue.
it's very hard to be out the closet social Darwinist these days. I'm still firmly closeted.
Sure.
As a social Darwinist.
But it's two big-headed Irish people against each other, so it's like confusing for a social Darwinist, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's a civil war.
It's Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, it is. but they both got massive heads. It's Spider-Man meme.
It's
but
the Korean War.
It's Donkey Kong mode on GoldenEye.
Yeah.
You didn't play in 64 GoldenEye, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, Christ. Charlie, did you play?
Look at me like I'm not a real
I
man.
played Nintendo Wii Quantum of Solace.
No, it's not the same.
It's the same.
It's not the same.
Different generation.
Did you play? Were you big into Wii Sports?
I was very big into Wii Sports. Yeah.
I genuinely thought I could play tennis because
I can imagine you smashing a telly because you're doing.
I played it until quite recently. I used to play in lockdown. I spent lockdown doing Wii Poppers, where
Wii Poppers.
Yeah, me and my housemate.
What game's that?
Me and my housemate would play Wii Tennis, and whoever lost the game of Wii Tennis had to do that many sniffs of poppers, as there were points. And then,
But poppers is a great feeling.
Because if you do like 15, 20 sniffs of poppers, you have to have like a really big lie down, and you feel really sick. So we spent...
Sorry, you'd lose a set of tennis, like 40 love, and then have to do 5 poppers. And
yeah,
then carry
but
on.
we had this one game of like Juice where it was like 15 points of Wii Tennis, and he had to lie down for an hour and a half.
And then you back to the tennis?
And then back to tennis, yeah.
Poppers is just to
No.
No. It doesn't loosen your
It doesn't really do that. I was
Makes you feel
scared doing
boiling.
poppers that just loads of shit would fall out my ass because it'd be so gaping huge.
Yes, that's what my
You don't just gape.
I can see the fear in your eyes.
Yeah. I don't do poppers because I think it'll set off some gay man's pheromones and they'll come and bum me. It's like a flare that you set out. Don't you immediately get a grinder profile if you...
I think so. But it's actually just like an immediate rush that's quite nice.
You just feel boiling.
So why is it associated...
I feel boiling.
Why is it associated with the gay community then?
Because
I
apparently
think it does loosen it up, but it's not like...
Right, so it's not...
I thought it was
it's
like...
not fear-mongering.
I thought it was
No,
like...
because I felt it doesn't.
I think maybe your bum's just quite loose anyway.
Doesn't touch the size.
Yeah.
Well, let's look it up. Does poppers loosen your ass, or is that is that an urban myth? What Mythbusters? We should probably.
Yeah, well, no, people need to know.
If I wear a beret and shave my head, I could be one of those guys from Mythbusters. But instead, we could be seeing if poppers really loosens your asshole.
Yeah, apparently it relaxes the smooth muscle tissue of the body, including the anal sphincter. So your whole body loosens. But I've not noticed that personally.
But you're quite loose generally.
Yeah,
So you're not a rigid man.
You walk and your arms are swinging like a monkey.
permanently on
You wouldn't
poppers,
stand well on parade, I don't think.
No. You're the opposite of that bloke that stands outside Buckingham Palace in the big hat.
Yeah.
You're the opposite of that.
I tell you, John.
Saying
deficit
hello
disorder.
to everyone. Hello, this is brilliant. Look at the size of this hat.
Yeah.
The IRA then start to kick off a mainland England bombing campaign.
Yeah.
1974 it's a bad year in Britain.
Yeah.
You can go back through our post-war British Prime Minister series. 74, Heath and Wilson are swapping the keys to number 10. Wilson's on poppers. Marcia's
Getting pegged.
roofing around up there.
Yep.
But this is also where the IRA campaign comes to Britain.
Take it to home.
They take it home.
Yeah.
Or not away from home.
Yeah.
In March 1973, the Old Bailey is bombed. 4 car bombs go off in London.
Bloody
This
hell.
is peak car bomb.
Right.
This is, I suppose, to place this in a better way, rather than the social Darwinism, would be to say that this is after the car, and it's before people would drive cars into like Christmas markets.
Right.
So it's
because that's the modern equivalent, right?
yes, that is the modern.
Is you just GTA into the sidewalk.
Well, that's what Islamic terrorists do nowadays.
Yeah.
Is they Uber GTA.
What I like about that as a thing is you can become a terrorist with 5 seconds of leading.
Yes.
Like you could just be
Fuck
driving.
it. Yeah.
Fuck it.
Do you have a manifesto? No.
Yeah, I just go.
Fuck
I support the Islamic State. Like you could just on a dime, any of us can do it.
You're listening on the radio to LBC.
Yeah.
They've got an Islamic State caller. You think, do you know what? He's making
Fuck
a lot of
it.
good points. Fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, you don't have to be a fan of Islamic State. You can just hate Christmas markets.
That's true, but I do think make it an issue. Might as well choose an issue.
I'm a single issue. It's
And it's
Christmas
Christmas
markets. I get very stressed at Christmas markets. So on the M62, there's a coach carrying soldiers from. They've been on like weekend leave.
Mm.
I didn't realise that soldiers all get on a bus and go for like a jolly. Have they been the beach or something?
Well, on just like for holiday.
The weekend leave
Yeah,
away from the barracks. So it's soldiers and their
the
families.
Sunshine Bus.
Yeah, they haven't. Thankfully, they don't blow up a sunshine bus. Come on, guys, Jerry, Martin, you can't
Wind
blow
your
up.
neck in.
You cannot blow up a British sunshine bus. All right, that's too far. No, this is sort of, I guess, the opposite of a sunshine bus, and it's the military,
Yeah.
the soldiers and families. Anyway, they
Yeah.
blow it up in the early morning of the hours of 4th of February, and 12 are killed. This starts a series of bombings that really shake the nation.
Yeah.
The Guildford pub bombing,
Yeah.
which we can get into more when Victoria's here. Why is Charlie just pissing himself laughing when I said Guildford pub bombing?
This is my mate's baby.
Right.
He's in the army now. He's the guy who's the pool ball I had to put in my mouth. I had to put
We were talking on our other podcast. We were talking about like sports initiations.
this baby's dad. I had to put a pool ball that he put an 8-ball pool ball that he put in his bum in my mouth.
Why? When the baby was born? Are you the godfather or something?
So he joined a cricket team, was it?
Rugby team, and that's his baby, and he joined the army. But how fucked is that photo?
I mean, are we allowed to just show another man's baby on the?
I think we can blur the baby's face.
Right. It's a baby sleeping in an army helmet.
But I guess it
makes it look like the guy in the army's dead.
Yeah,
He's not.
Right.
it's very much alive. I mean, you'd know. You fucking tasted his pool ball,
disgusting.
one ball.
It's disgusting.
Pull ball up his arse, then in your
8-ball
mouth.
pool, then he shat it out, and I had to put it in my mouth.
Was he on poppers?
No.
How are you getting a pool ball up there without poppers?
I guess it's a lot of. I think you start with smaller things and you work your way up.
He liked it. He was
like-
the worst person to have that done to.
Well, because he.
He just loved it. Look at him.
Yeah, I suppose I would challenge you on how relevant to the Guildford pub bombings that story is. Both are shocking. Both are shocking. Both shock the country.
Yeah.
There'll be people
Both make
listening.
you question humanity.
There will be people listening who are thinking, "Thank fuck we've got back onto the Guildford pub bombings," because of how shocking that story was. And also, the baby in the army helmet was completely irrelevant to the fact that you shoved a pool ball up your mouth and then ate it.
Sort of. I mean,
It's his dad.
It's his dad.
Oh yeah, I don't think that boy wants
The
to.
line lives on.
The boy wants to grow up in the shadow of
The line
the
of
thing
kings.
his dad's
Or
done.
his dad's poo pool ball.
Yeah, I don't. I don't want my kids to have to
Live in the shadow of your pile.
live in the shadow of my piles.
Dwarfed.
I was more going to say this podcast rather than my piles.
Well, we don't know which one will end up being more
when
famous.
I'm gone and my kids are like, "Oh, tell us about your dad." Well, he had massive piles.
Would you be the face of a piles campaign?
Yes, yeah, hemorrhoid cream, absolutely. Me and Tyreek could do it together. Me and Tyreek could do it together.
On what face are you doing on the tube? So it's a tube ad.
Is this face?
I get some brands up of hemorrhoid cream.
Hemorrhoid cream, yeah. Maybe I should bring up my own brand of hemorrhoid cream.
Yeah, but not sponsored. That's David Gandhi. I don't know.
Yeah, but did you see that he googled it? It's in Mahatma Gandhi. Fucking idiot.
Right. So anusol.
Anusol.
Would you do like an anusol collab?
100%. 100%.
So on the tube.
100%.
The tube ad for anusol.
Yeah.
Finn Taylor. Is it just you going like that? Big thumbs up.
It's me with like a bunch of grapes.
I've been blessed to not really have had piles, so I don't really know what they
You
probably
are
look like.
hashtag-
And now I've
you
seen
are
it.
hashtag blessed. I've not really seen it because that's the great that's the great
beauty.
curse of
You're
piles.
not getting a mirror
No.
like the barber's chair.
Yeah,
Let me sit in the back.
I finished a session with my personal trainer, and then he holds a mirror around my arse to show me what my piles look like. You happy with that? Yeah, that much better. Thank you, much better.
Bit off the sides, please,
Those
Tyree.
are full to the brim, brimming with grapes. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. No. I would. You
So
know,
anusol, if you're listening,
Anusol, get in touch. If you pay off my mortgage, I will wear branded Anusol clothing for the next 10 years. Whatever that is.
anusol tracksuit.
Anusol caps, tracksuit. I'll become the Anusol comedian. If you pay off my mortgage, I will do it. Yeah, every man's got a price. If you
Yeah.
pay off, anyway, you know, there's other brands I'd do it for.
Who?
I don't know. Whatever. You know, Anusol needs you, and it's just me pointing. Anyway, listen, we've gone slightly off piece.
Sure.
We were talking about the Guildford pub bombings,
Yep.
which are only slightly more
Bleak
than what what Charlie does with his mates, which I'm never not shocked by. How you spend your time, it's crazy to me. I think we should give you less annual leave
Yeah.
because I just never. It's
For your
never
own
not
good.
disturbing.
We've managed to take about 60% of work off him from last year, and he's just filling it now.
filling his ass with pool balls instead. Anyway,
Work was setting you free.
yeah. So 5 die in the Guildford pub bombings. 4 off-duty soldiers, 1 is civilian, and there's an amazing story that I think that Sandbrook talks about this in the rest is history when they're doing 1974 about literally it's someone goes to the toilet in the pub in Guildford and then someone fills their seat, and if they hadn't done that, like seconds later they're dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So again, it's the same way with Thatcher. You know, at this time, toilet breaks are never better timed
Yes.
than in the 70s and 80s in mainland Britain.
I guess in my head, I always feel I'd be like the guy in Air India who jumped out at the last minute.
I love that guy. I still because when he talks about how he survived, he makes everyone who died sound like a fucking idiot.
But what did he do?
Because you're like, how did you survive? He's like, I don't know, I just fucking got off. Why didn't you get off, you fucking idiots?
Yeah, I got off before it crashed.
Yeah, I just cunted myself out of the plane and got off. You just sat in your seats like sheep.
Yeah, and he just has a slight limp.
Yeah, I'm done, fine.
Easy.
I could see we were going down. I thought, fuck this, get out.
And he went and got a different
And then
plane.
you see the footage. You're like, how has anyone got out of that? It goes into a building, and you got out. I saw.
You can drop me here, actually.
Yeah, I'll pop off here, cabby. Anyway, here's good. How the fuck is he alive? I'm not to be a truther about it.
Go on.
I don't think he was on the plane.
What?
He just gets out and he's like, yeah, fuck off. I'm
Do you think
fine.
he was maybe cheating on his wife in the building?
It's a bit fishy, isn't it?
Well, I bet he was cheating on his wife in the building, and he didn't want people to know what he was doing, so he pretended he was on the plane.
Oh, ow. Oh, ow. Ow.
Yeah,
Owie.
it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's never happened ever.
No one's ever supplied. He escaped through a breach in the fuselage, but then if it's already a fuselage, how is he getting out? He unbuckled, crawled through the wreckage, and was aided by the impact, breaking the plane's structure.
So I think it made like a perfect hole in the
Yeah.
plane that he kind of just rolled
Good
out
bend.
of.
So does that mean
There's
he
like a
didn't?
tunnel
He did
perfectly
roly
out.
polied
so he
out.
didn't die on impact though.
He didn't die at all.
Because you look. No, I know. But
So there must have
everyone
been
else
something
died
in
on
the way
impact.
that just kind of
Stopped him.
Yeah.
But I think maybe he just flew out at the exact
doesn't-
right.
doesn't-
Do you think he was aloof the
What,
whole
you think
time?
you think he flew out? You think the plane hit the building and the force? He went, wait! You think that's what happened?
Sort of, yeah. I think he would have just been like barreled out in this kind of perfect, completely impossible
Do you
way.
think he was raw dogging the whole flight? That he was one of those guys. And he
Beethoven's brother.
Yeah.
Well, you think he was raw dogging the flight.
And then it just like, pfft, and then it smashed him out, and then he's in the street, and he's like,
What? And what?
well, okay, a different plane then, because that one's.
You can't park there, mate. But yes, my point is that, you know, it never has a poo been better timed than this time.
Yeah.
Piles will set you free from the IRA. The main defence we have in this point in the 70s is our piles.
Yes, but powers might not set you free if the bomb was in the toilet. So it depends. It depends which
If
way.
the IRA are putting bombs in toilets, they are sinking to depths I did not know they could be. It's one thing to bomb a sunshine bus, but to bomb a toilet, which is a man's safe space,
Your last refuge.
that's where I go when I've had enough of my wife and kids. And yes, I'm straining. Dads have the sheds and they have the toilets, and those are ours. Okay, Sadiq, you can't take those away from us.
We'll
If you
try.
make my toilet a mosque, I'm finished. I'm defecting to reform. If you make my toilet a mosque, all right. That's the Guildford pub bombings dealt with.
Done.
They're done. Vittorio
Bang.
can tell us what he said and why he got in trouble. Anyway, we then get to, there's then the Birmingham pub bombings. They're
Is
all
this the
Guildford's-
Birmingham 5?
Yeah, this ends up being about the Birmingham 6. So
Go the guys with skinny jeans, the Birmingham 4, outside Birmingham Station.
not the Fantastic Four, Charlie. The Birmingham. So let's just talk about they're bombing pubs in near barracks and military towns. Okay, in mainland Britain, the Birmingham pub bombings. This is on the evening of the 21st of November 1974. This is the deadliest IRA attack in England during the Troubles.
Okay.
2 bombs explode in the crowded Birmingham city centre during the peak evening hours. And you've got to remember, it's not like nowadays where pubs are struggling. 70s Britain,
Right, they're
pubs are
loving it.
fucking booming.
So this is around Birmingham New Street.
Yeah,
which-
this is the centre of Birmingham.
boring. Right,
I-
get 4 guys skinny jeans Birmingham. Just get that photo up.
Are you thinking of the photo of...
I mean, that was in the same area.
but are you thinking of Darren Fletcher?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, you're thinking of these
So
guys.
this is the Birmingham 6. It's the
I
guy
don't-
with
are, these,
spray.
are these guys from Birmingham?
Yeah, that's in Birmingham.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So we're looking at a photo of...
Kevin, Alex, James, and Connor.
Yeah, the boys,
Yeah.
who I imagine are all now in Dubai.
Yes.
They look like they're waiting for Dubai to
It
give
was
them
that meme of
visas.
those 4 guys who took a photo outside an all bar one in Birmingham, and they have spray-on jeans, some of the worst fits known to man.
Mm-hmm.
They got tattoo sleeves, and they think they look great. And then they kind of captured an inner truth about a certain type of man in this country. And then they went on wrote a lot of articles about the mental health and stuff, and they even tried to reclaim the meme.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realise they went on a mental health journey.
Yeah. Well, I think they've gone back and taken the same photo, but now with baggy trousers, which
And
is,
they're-
I
and
think,
and they're wearing
I've lost a
socks.
lot of respect for them
Yeah.
because it's shown. I mean, look at the guy. You can see the outline of his phone. He's got a string tie belt.
I thought you were talking about the picture of Wayne Rooney, Paul Scholes, and Rio Ferdinand.
I mean, no, that's
Darren
another,
Fletcher strolling
that's-
through.
Yeah, that's an
again,
unbelievable fit.
Another era.
Yeah.
With jeans and shoes. Now let's talk about the Birmingham thing. So the IRA are blamed for the attack. It kills 21 civilians, injures over 180. It's blood on the streets of Birmingham.
180.
Yep, the IRA are darts fans. That's what they say when it goes off.
180.
Now, the organisation deny later formal responsibility. Intelligence assessments link the bombing to its mainland campaign service units. Now, within hours of the bombing, police launched this massive terrorism investigation, one of the biggest in British history. They arrest 6 Irish men: Hugh Callaghan, Patrick Hill, Gerard Hunter, Richard McMcElhenney, Billy Power, and Johnny Walker.
Right.
They're arrested and then convicted. They become known as the Birmingham Six. They confess after a prolonged interrogation, but they then later retract those confessions, saying that they were coerced by police, alleging physical abuse. Forensic tests presented at trial claim they'd handled explosives, and then decades later, those tests are discredited. And in 1991, the Court of Appeal overturns all convictions.
So it wasn't them.
No, it was just the Brits trying to find any Irish cunt they could.
Right.
And it becomes one of the most significant.
Can't move for them.
I know.
They're everywhere.
These days. Oh, they're everywhere.
I mean, they're having a brilliant time at the moment, the Irish, especially in London.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's basically, they just get a free pass of being, white and British.
Yeah.
Not
Sort of.
British, sort
Yeah.
of. Do you know what I mean? They get none of the guilt. It's kind of like Ireland's just like, it's like here if we hadn't done all the bad stuff. And so they just get to skip around and they get all the good
but
bits.
also
and none of the bads.
culturally, if you're a
You
gentle,
haven't pissed anyone off.
if you're a nice Irish man,
Yeah.
people think you're attractive. People think you're sexy,
Yeah.
just because of the accent. As a comedian, you don't have to have any jokes,
No.
because you come across as genial.
Yeah,
Whereas-
Victoria's coming on next.
Exactly. Whereas we, with that face and this voice,
It's a tough sell.
we actually have to write jokes because people don't want to like us.
Yeah.
Yeah. because they think that guy's eugenicist, and they're not wrong. But give me a chance.
Lucky guess.
I'm closeted.
Lucky guess.
I'm closeted.
And also, don't tar us all with, don't stereotype. Just because we're eugenicists
doesn't mean all white British men are. Okay. If the Sun outs me like Schofield as a social Darwinist, do you want me to die? It's me vaping. Do you want me to die? Yes. Yes, I'm a social Darwinist. So the Birmingham Six, anyway, they're banged up at this point. You can't be too careful.
No.
Right.
You got to make sure.
Just, you know what? If you
everyone on Waxy O'Connor's.
Yeah,
if
you're drinking in Guinness, fuck off, bang it up for a bit. Parliament rushes through the Prevention of Terrorism Act 1974, which grants police powers to detain suspects for up to 7 days without charge. This is the long road to Blair and Muslim internment in Iraq,
Yes, that's what I've always said.
But this is the first time the Brits. It's just similar to how British Muslims felt in the days after 9/11, I imagine. Now, this is the beginning of a long-term emergency legislation that shapes counter-terrorist policy for decades. There's many more small plates to enjoy. We have to get to the Iberico ham that is the assassination of Lord Mountbatten.
Yeah.
But before that, I just want to shout out the Shankill Butchers, friends of the pod. They look,
they're not a laugh, but
they're not a laugh, And then they're also not a butchers. I should stress that. Don't be, if you're in Belfast, don't be asking for Shankill Butchers. They're not a traditional butchers. They are.
They'd probably be good butchers though.
They would, if they could stop killing Catholic civilians. And start butchering animals. Maybe.
I think they'd know their way around a cleaver.
They certainly do. Let's just quickly go into the Shankill Butchers before we get to Lord Mountbatten. Now, they're a loyalist paramilitary gang, UVF. That's one of the Protestant shopping channels.
Is that how you had one of your children was a UVF?
It was, we were in the UVF. And it's very, when a woman goes to the UVF, it's a lot harder than it thinks. You've got to constantly, you've got to work at it every day. It's the start of a fertility journey, joining the UVF. They operated primarily between 75 and 79, and the Shankill Road in West Belfast. So the Falls Road is the Catholic sort of main area. The Shankill's the Protestant one. And this group, they're pretty nasty, to be fair. Strong stomachs, this lot. They abduct, torture, and kill at least 19 civilians. Almost all of them are Catholic.
Did Wassam get caught in
Maybe Wassam got caught in there. Maybe the Greenland Muslim. They're led by a man called Lenny Murphy, who's a member of the Ulster Volunteer Force, the UVF. Again, that's a sort of... is that a paramilitary organisation or a political party? It gets very confusing, but any Northern Irish listeners, I'm trying.
Sort of.
I'm sort of trying, but you don't make it easy for us.
You really don't.
You really don't.
You should have made it more simple.
Just simplify, all right? It's too factional. Just pick one team, shirts and skins, all right? How are you meant to have a five-a-side tournament if it's like, well, we won't wear shorts. We'll wear one sock. Anyway, Lenny Murphy is the guy who's known as the Butcher, and he regards the use of a blade as, quote, the ultimate way to kill. So he tortures people with a knife and then hacks each victim's throat open with a butcher's knife.
Right.
He shoots someone called William Pavis, who was accused of selling weapons to the IRA. There's an accomplice called Mervyn Connor, who he's interrogated by police, but then he kills himself by taking cyanide. He then confesses to the murder, all under duress from Murphy. I mean, they then go on. They then go around the pubs in Shankill Road. They assemble a paramilitary team. They all use butchers, cleavers, and stuff.
Moore used to work in a meat processing factory and stolen several knives and meat cleavers. So yeah, they do know their way around. They would be good butchers.
Yeah, they are good butchers. To be fair, do you know what? I've said a lot of things that I regret. But the Shankill Butchers were good butchers. They knew what they were doing. Yeah, sorry. In their Shankill Butchers, there's a Catholic man. How you dissect it? All different cuts of Catholic man.
Yeah, a Berico ham of
not a cow. But anyway.
Is he regarded as a serial killer, or is he because there's a political element?
Here we go, Charlie. You're getting to the crux of the matter that we'll be dealing with in our next episode. All of this is about the British government are saying you're criminals, and the Irish are saying no, we're a political organisation, or the IRA are. And so murder to them is justified because it's a political cause, whereas to the British they're seeing it as serial killing, as crime, as disturbances. So this is the crux of the issue, which we'll get into in the hunger strikes. But I suppose can you be a political serial killer?
Well, like being a political comedian, like Nish Kumar.
Yes. Yes. The
So you sort of like you do
the
like
Shepherd's Bush butcher, Nish Kumar.
But is it sort of doing like Raya sides about Keir Starmer?
Or,
While
what,
also
after you
killing-
killed someone?
Yeah.
That's actually a statement on Keir Starmer's.
I guess that's a political serial killer.
Yeah. So just do this after the budget, just to make you think,
Yeah.
Rachel.
That's what Rachel's doing to the country.
Anyway, let's get to Lord Mountbatten, because this is really so. I
This
suppose
is
the point
their peak.
This is one of the most stunning, not Lord Mountbatten boy, Charlie.
Batty boy.
It's not Lord.
I don't know if he ever said Batty Boy once in his
Lord
life.
Mountbatten never said Batty boy. I can say that with complete certainty.
Yeah.
Just makes you think, doesn't
He
it?
could be a Batty Boy,
Because-
though. They often are.
Who's they?
You know what I mean? These fruity lords.
Gay Lord Mountbatten boy. He was sort of the last symbolic figure of the Britain's colonial past. So Lord Mountbatten is a retired Royal Navy officer. He had commandeered. He was in charge of Navy operations during World War II. He'd done quite a lot around Italy, I think. He'd also been instrumental in D-Day. So he's a war hero.
Yeah.
He's
He's high up the British
Queen
establishment as you
Elizabeth
can
II's cousin.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Pretty big. Uncle to Prince Philip. I think he's Prince Philip's uncle, but then he's also Queen Elizabeth II's
because
cousin.
they're like cousins.
He's Queen Victoria's
Because Elizabeth married her cousin.
great-grandson.
Are they?
Hang
Yeah,
on.
they're cousins, right? Elizabeth and Philip are cousins, right?
That's crazy that they're cousins.
Philip and Elizabeth were distant cousins. How distant?
We're all distant cousins.
We're
though.
all distant cousins, really, aren't we? I mean, you don't like to think about it on your wedding day, but
Yeah, come on.
second cousins. So what's a fucky cousin then?
I think they're in the grey area here.
First cousin, frowned upon.
Yeah.
Not illegal though. Unwise but not illegal. Cousin once removed.
What have they been talking
fucky.
about in the House of Parliament about cousin marriage or something? I think it is illegal.
In Bradford, they're trying to ban it because in Bradford there's a lot of
Muslims. Wackham's
Yeah.
A lot
getting
of it.
involved.
cousins marrying.
One of the tragedy of Wackham living in Greenland is he's not got a cousin to marry.
Someone send Wassam a cousin.
If you're Wassam's cousin, I don't know where
It's
the fuck
cold
you,
up there. He
where-
needs a cousin to cuddle at night.
where do you live? Fucking Tierra del Fuego. Anyway, get up to Greenland, would you? So, Lord Mountbatten, Lord Louis Mountbatten, a huge figurehead for the British establishment. Queen Elizabeth II's cousin. He had a holiday home, I think in Sligo,
Yeah.
maybe,
Ireland.
in Ireland, the Republic of Ireland. And there was a big lake, and he loved to take his boat out there
Yeah.
with his kids and his family, and he'd holiday there every year. And the IRA had thought about killing Mountbatten since 1970. There'd been many abandoned plans. There was a failed sniper plan. In
Why
1970.
him above other people in the establishment? Has he specifically done anything that's like...
It's more that he is a figurehead of the establishment, and he
Yeah.
regularly holidays in Ireland.
Right.
But also, he is, he's very high up in the military. He's the Queen's cousin. He's like, I think he was now King Charles is sort of godfather or mentor. And Mountbatten had frequently dismissed IRA threats, saying, "What would they want with an old man like me?"
Was he the one who was thinking about doing a coup against...
Against the
Was it
Labour in the
Wilson?
70s. No, yeah, maybe it
Or
is.
was it against Wilson or
No,
Callaghan?
that's General. That's someone else.
I
guy
think
who-
Mountbatten got involved a bit.
I think he did get involved. I think he did get involved.
Yeah.
So Mountbatten had a summer holiday at Classybourne Castle. 30 years he'd been going there.
Yep.
And so the IRA had been planning this attack for months, right? And it is a pretty spectacular assassination.
Yep.
As assassinations go.
He gets Fredoed.
Thomas McMahon, an IRA volunteer, plants a bomb on Mountbatten's boat the night before the assassination. It's considered a soft target, which I guess means it's quite easy.
Yeah.
And it's a radio-controlled detonator. And then they go out at sea, Mountbatten, and with his grandkids, maybe? Grandkids and
Yeah,
kids,
it was
family.
like a 15-year-old, right?
Yeah, there's like an Irish like boat boy as
Yeah.
well. And the whole boat just gets blown to shit.
Right.
And how many die?
4?
There's
or
like
4?
8 people on the boat,
Four.
and four die, including Mountbatten. 14-year-old, 15-year-old, and then an 83-year-old.
Blowing an 83-year-old like that. God.
What you say?
Satisfying.
The thing is, yeah, I mean, you know how people...
that would be satisfying though. Bang.
Yeah, I mean, suppose an 83-year-old woman, I'd like to blow up a 90-year-old woman who's sitting in a chair.
Okay.
I think it'd be very satisfying.
Okay, right.
You know, you get to an age
Why?
where you just sit in your chair. Well, the same reason that it's satisfying blowing up an 80-year-old woman on a boat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they'd stand up for the last
But
time.
they also killed 2 teenagers, which is a bit icky. Come on. And on the same day, there is the Warren Point ambush, which is where the IRA attack a British Army convoy near the border in County Down, and they kill 6 of the paras, which is the most amount of... 18 soldiers are killed, 16 from the paras. That's the paras' largest single instant loss of life since World War II.
Yeah.
So we need to wrap up, but basically...
But because there was 6, but there was more because they had the second bomb.
Oh, right.
It's crazy. The second bomb device at the gatehouse in Milk Churns, it's Ireland, detonated at 5:12
they
p.m.,
held bombs,
killing 12 more. So total 18 soldiers were killed.
But yes, they hid bombs in milk churns, which, to be fair, is the most IRA thing I've ever heard.
Yep.
So the point you're trying to get to is that by the end of the 70s, the Troubles has come to Britain.
Yep.
It can no longer be said that it's just a sort of a civil war on the streets of Belfast.
Yeah.
It has got very political. It's very real for the British. Mountbatten and an old woman have been blown to shit in the lake.
Mountbatten's body's been blown.
Mountbatten's body has been blown to shit. The assassination is condemned internationally. The Pope gets involved.
Yeah. I mean, that must hurt for the IRA, right? Does that have much sway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because Mountbatten had been the last viceroy of India. There's a week of mourning in India and Burma. The British tabloid include headlines with "These evil bastards, may the bastards rot in hell."
This is sort of the golden age of these headlines because it's around the Falklands as well.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
where they're really just letting it all hang
and
out.
Thatcher, who is in power by this point, she thinks that friend of the pod Muammar Gaddafi's got something to do with it, which he probably does.
He's got his
Gaddafi,
fingers in every pie. I mean, he funded the IRA at
yes,
points.
of course, yeah. He was he was a philanthropist in a way. Anyway, it should be said that in 2021, Sinn Féin apologised for the assassination, but Thatcher is in power and she's fucking livid with the IRA.
She's a tough old broad.
She's a tough old bird, as we know from our series.
Yeah. She loves a fight.
She loves a fight, and she will win every fight she enters.
Yeah.
She's a fucking racehorse. She's a bull.
Yeah.
She's the Protestant. No, she's the British Arlene Foster.
Yes.
If you're getting anyone, if there's anyone of the straights that can take on the lesbian prop forward that is Arlene Foster, it's Margaret Thatcher.
She takes her clothes off. She's a tank.
Yeah. Thatcher's an anti-tank gun. Anyway, in our next episode, we will be joined by our correspondent for the Troubles, Vittoria Angeloni, to talk about Bobby Sands, the hunger strikes, and, it's going to get dirty.
Yeah.
The IRA, you think they've sunk low.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out they stopped wiping their bottom,
Yeah.
to say the least.
It's going to get smelly.
It's going to get smelly.
It's going to be Charlie's rugby initiation, but as a political protest.
Yeah. It's like, Charlie, do you ever make your shits political? Well, just hang on a second. That episode's already on the Patreon, where for £3 a month, you get early access to series. It's a marketplace for all sorts of memorabilia.
Ideas, you name it.
Fedoras.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing a bonus episode this week. It's about the worst guy who ever lived, Albert Fish.
I cannot wait for this
Friend
one.
of the pod,
The
Albert
Wuggo.
Fish. The Wuggo. The
worst
Wuggo.
guy of all time.
If you've got a strong stomach, then you will enjoy Albert Fish.
And look, we've covered a lot of fruity characters, but he may be the fruitiest we covered
He
yet.
is a piece of fruit.
Yeah.
Albert Fish is a piece of fruit. Join the Patreon for that. I'm pretty sure none of it will be able to be clipped up. Anyway, Vittoria will be in the next episode. We'll see you then for that as we continue our epic tapas meal that is the Troubles.
Goodbye.
Goodbye for now.
Goodbye for now.